Today is April 22nd, 2016. Time is 4:25 p.m. And up next, folks, everyone, this is by Ken Jorgensen. It's dated April 15, 2016, and this is about your dollars. Yep, a global reset. We're talking dramatic dollar reset is afoot right now. So says Ken Jorgensen. And I read for the visually impaired and for small device users. Please use the link if necessary. Could there be a dramatic and overnight reduction in the value of the dollar? I think this is coming in very short order now. The trail of breadcrumbs is indicating that this is what is afoot right now. I have been following recent events this week of the emergency Federal Reserve meetings. The admission by Deutsche Bank of precious metals price rigging, China's new interbank payment system, and the new gold trading market at the Shanghai Gold Exchange. This, coupled with China's enormous accumulation of gold over these past years, has triggered my notion to post and alert you of what may be coming our way, and potentially very soon. A flooding of dollars back to the U.S., resulting in a rapid devaluation of its purchasing power, currency inflation. This is going down. This is going to happen. I think this is going down in the next 2 to 3 weeks. The clock's about to strike midnight, and that was said by Kirby. Well, 2 to 3 weeks, that's very soon. Now, I cannot verify any of this, folks, so this is just information for you to decide. One of my regular morning stops as I browse the web searching for alternative news is Greg Hunter's channel. I was surprised to see this morning that he replaced his normal Friday wrap-up with an emergency post of sorts, an interview with Rob Kirby. Having read the post and listened to the interview, it all matched up with what I've been surmising myself, so my gut told me to post on the subject given its potentially dramatic outcome. Earlier this week, Monday, when I read multiple reports of emergency meetings of the Federal Reserve, I thought something was up, especially when it became obvious that it was secret. But what made it even more interesting was when the Fed chairman went over to the White House and met with the president and the vice president. Again, secretive. While some lame excuse was fed to the lapdogs of the press. However, to me, this screams of a national security issue. As the week went on, I read about major troubles at one of the world's major banks, Deutsche Bank, that's the German bank, which has taken on a catastrophic amount of reckless credit market risk with its tentacles of derivatives reaching far and wide into the system. But it was the report that it was turning rogue against the system that really caught my eye. Oh, and earlier today, on Thursday, when we at Zero Hedge reported the stunning news that DB, Deutsche Bank, has decided to turn against the precious metals manipulation cartel by first settling a long-running silver price-fixing lawsuit, which, in addition to valuable monetary consideration, said it would expose the other banks' rigging, having also agreed to provide cooperation to plaintiffs, including the production of instant messages and other electronic communications as part of the settlement. We said since this is just one of the many lawsuits filed over the past 2 years in Manhattan federal court, in which investors accuse banks of conspiring to rig rates or prices in financial and commodities markets, we expect that now that Deutsche Bank has turned, that much more curious information about precious metals rigging will emerge and will confirm what the bugs have said all along, that the precious metals market has been rigged all along, and that's per zerohedge.com. The curious glaring question is, why are they admitting it now? Especially since many of us have known about the orchestrated manipulation and price rigging for years, coordinated by the U.S. Treasury with the Federal Reserve and the banking cartel. in order to help hold up the dollar within the system. A little more info. China's interbank payment system is a new system which offers clearing and settlement services for its participants in cross-border payments and trade. SWIFT, the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, has been the de facto European-centric network that enables financial institutions worldwide to transact and is used by most all international banking institutions, in case you didn't know. The interesting thing is this: SWIFT has just inked a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, with China's CIPS, which will integrate China and the Chinese renminbi, their currency, aka the yuan, for payments with the broader global SWIFT community. And let's let that sink in a bit more, shall we? This effectively means that there will be less of an incentive or a requirement or a need to transact only or primarily in U.S. payment systems, the Clearinghouse Interbank Payment System, and the FedWire. This will be a very big can of worms for the dollar's reserve status as China's merger with SWIFT develops. But there's something even more telling. The Shanghai Gold Exchange, a physical gold exchange as opposed to paper gold, will apparently be going live on April 19th and will place China squarely on the stage of yuan-denominated price discovery for gold. And once the price settling is out of the Western criminal rigged price setting system, the COMEX and the LBMA, what do you think might happen? Now let me take this a step further. What if China announces that their currency, the yuan, is now backed by a percentage of gold? Anyone who has been paying attention knows that China has been aggressively amassing gold. I think we all know that, right, folks? Much more than they have been officially announcing. And many suspect that this has been their eventual aim to insert themselves into the competing status of a currency reserve and to diminish the dollar's role as a sole reserve currency. What will happen to the dollar? That's the burning question here. And I know a lot of you have ideas on that one. Since there are so many dollars, electronic digits thereof, out there in the world, when the time comes when they're not needed so much anymore, much of it will come flooding back home. Uh-oh. And what happens then? Well, prices will go up due to the inherent devaluation effects. How much and how quickly will depend on the extent of the global reset. It is the opinion of Mr. Kirby and many others that this is all coming together very soon, and nearly every American is completely unaware. That's right, unaware. I'm not offering any particular advice, but I'm just putting it out there for your consumption. Be prepared, okay? What to do, what to do. Okay, this is one person's report. There are many, many others, like I said. Greg Hunter, Mike Maloney, Greg Monterino, and others. All excellent sources of information on the economy and what's happening with this global reset and what they think is going to happen to the precious metal market, the stock market, everything, okay? But it sure looks like this house of cards is going to come tumbling down at some point in time. But the question would be when? When is going to actually all come tumbling down? I was trying to think of a word, folks, but tumble down is probably one of the words I would use. Okay, crashing, tumbling, yeah, I can see that happening. But overnight, well, a lot of things happen, and as we have seen, it usually happens when we're least expecting it. So let's all be aware and keep informed on a daily basis on what's happening here and try to do something to protect yourselves. I've said it before many times, and I'm going to keep to that right now. The economy is really teetering, all right? And so is the dollar. That's going to do it for now. Please stay safe. Pink out.